These tables to make the sign?
Yeah.
You guys, we're just going to use one of these tables over here to make the sign. Try to engage with the students in the middle of the campus.
Somebody wasn't there here. Jeremy here.
How you doing today, man? You go to school here? How do you like it? That's good. Is this where you wanted to go to school? Congratulations, man. You got to be very accomplished to earn a spot here, huh? You ever heard of Gematria before? You know the Bushes both went to school here. They were president, right? HW and W. How old are you, by the way? 21? So, George H.W. Bush, before he became the 41st president, he was the 43rd vice president to Ronald Reagan, and then his son eventually became the 43rd president. And I don't know if you recall, in 2000, controversial election where George W. Bush won in the state where his brother was the 43rd governor, right? So they all have this 43 connection. Jeb didn't go here to Yale, but the other two did, obviously. But there's this really interesting code. It's all throughout U.S. history. It goes beyond just Yale. But the letters of Yale, Y is the 25th letter using the alphabetic order, A is the first, L's the 12th, E's the 5th, Yale equals 43. You see? What do you think about something like that? You think it's a coincidence? Really? You think it's a coincidence that Donald Trump announced he was running from the 58-story Trump Tower for the 58th presidential election? You think it's a coincidence that Joe Biden became the nation's second Catholic president? The first, JFK, was assassinated at age 46. Joe Biden becomes number 46. And his son recently died at age 46. We told people a year and a half why Joe Biden would win the rigged selection, because the election was exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. And it's an important number to Catholicism because there's 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament, and in Gematria, Catholic equals 46. You think it's a coincidence? JFK's the nation's first Catholic president, right? Killed at age 46. Joe Biden's the nation's second Catholic president. He is number 46, elected exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, who's the head of the Catholic Church. Oh, I'm not saying that is related to Yale. I'm just showing, like I said, this numerical thing goes beyond Yale. You go through this whole nation's history, the presidencies, you'll see the numerical rituals with every last one of them. So, okay. First, I'll tell you about Lori Lightfoot, the current mayor of Chicago, right? Obama and Lori Lightfoot both have the exact same birthday, August 4th. Obama was born 1 year before her, though. He was born in 61. She was born in 62. She's the 56th mayor of Chicago. He won the 56th presidential election. You know Black Lives Matter? That equals 56. Earlier this year at the University of Alabama, the phrase Black Lives Matter equals 56. So
you add the letters up?
Exactly. So there's two very simple ciphers, just the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. Okay. And then the next most simple cipher is doing the same thing but using numerology. So for example, Z, instead of being 26 in the second cipher, is the numerology of 26, which is 2 plus 6 is 8. So Y, the 25th letter, would be 2 plus 5 is 7. In that second cipher, by the way, if you write out Skull and Bones, the powerful secret society, the second way Skull and Bones equals 41, like how George Herbert Walker Bush was the 41st president. Did you know that George Herbert Walker Bush, 11 years to the day of 9/11, gave a speech about a new world order, a world freer of terror, and then 11 years to the day later, his son's the president, and the building that looks like an 11 came down in the 11th state, New York, after flight AA11. That's the master number in numerology.
So what would you do with this information?
Well, you got to figure out who's really running the nation. I was 17 years old when Bush was elected, and I just knew it was a joke, so I've never voted. I said, this obviously isn't a democracy. It's obvious it's a rigged scam. So what we're trying to wake people up to is how rigged the scam is and the way the agendas are going. We knew in 2020 there was going to be some serious agenda in this nation. It ended up being COVID-19 because it came 19 years after 9/11 and the 19 hijackers. I'm explaining a lot of things to you right now, but there's a 19-year cycle of the moon. The Masons in D.C. Have you heard of Freemasonry? The Masons in D.C. What's etched on their building in their headquarters, the House of the Temple? It says, all is number. You know whose quote that is? Pythagoras. You know Pythagoras, right? So all is number. On the outside of that building, there are 33 columns that are each 33 feet tall. And the highest degree of masonry there is the 33rd degree. 33 years before 2001 is the year Bush graduated from Yale in Skull and Bones, 1968. That's the same year 911 was made in the National Emergency Dialing Code. That's the same year World Trade Center construction began. It's the same year Boeing debuted their jumbo jetliners. A bunch of things. All the planes involved that day were Boeing. The founder of Boeing also went to Yale and was a member of Skull and Bones. Or did I say, yeah, the founder of Boeing was a member of Yale, Skull and Bones.
So, you think people have been have planned all of these coincidences?
So look at this. Check this out. So from 1968 to 2001 is 33 years, right? The movie 2001: A Space Odyssey also came out in 1968. So using that cipher, alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, masonry, order, secrecy, federal, New York, they all equal 33, right?
Okay.
Also more interesting, the word pirate equals 33. So does the phrase false flag. Do you know what a false flag is? It's pirate terminology. So back in the day, pirates would put up a false flag, their enemy's flag, and they would do something horrific to make their enemy look bad. It wasn't real, but it would ruin the reputation of the enemy by carrying their flag and pretending like they were them.
Right.
So what's interesting is Skull and Bones, they get their symbolism from how the Knights Templar would bury their dead in an ossuary. The Knights Templar were burned at the stake in Paris, France. And when they were burned at the stake and banned in France, a lot of them fled and became pirates. That's part of the history of the Templars.
Okay.
The Jesuits are the new military order of the Catholic Church. They have the Templar cross in it. But that's where it all fits in. Skull and Bones, pirates, false flags. If you look into it, the first day that there was a meeting to build a World Trade Center in New York, it was July 6, 1946. That was the day of the first meeting to build a World Trade Center. That's the exact same day George W. Bush was born. The man who'd be president when those towers came down.
So, do you think you can predict?
We can predict a lot of things. We've been predicting sports left and right. We've been predicting elections left and right. We've been predicting what'll be in the news left and right.
Who do you think will win the next presidential?
Donald Trump.
You think so?
The reason why is because his first convention was in Cleveland. Grover Cleveland's the only president to ever have a split term. The name Cleveland has Gematria 48. So does the name Donald Trump. It's very possible that Joe Biden doesn't finish his term and Kamala Harris becomes the first female president. She'd be number 47. And then if Trump won the next election, he'd become number 48. If you look into something, do you know who Gerald Ford is? Gerald Ford was the 38th U.S. president. Gerald Ford gave a speech in the 80s. Well, he was giving a speech and then a young girl asked him. She said, "Mr. President, when are we finally going to see a female president?" And he kind of laughs. He goes, "Well, let me tell you how that's going to happen." He goes, "She won't be elected. What's going to happen is she's going to be the vice president and there'll be an old man who's president and he's going to die in office. And she will become the first president." I mean, doesn't this seem like a weird way to answer a little girl? Look up this speech, how he answered her. Now, here's what's amazing. Where he was when that happened was the Herbert Hoover Library. He was at the Herbert Hoover Library. Kamala Harris was born on the exact same day that Herbert Hoover died. So anyway, I could go on all day. If you think it's all a coincidence, I know you're a busy college student. Thanks for listening. But look into the word Gematria, Gematria. It means geometry and language. It goes back to Hebrew. It goes back to Babylon. It comes from Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah. Just using the alphabetic order, check this out. English, Gematria, occult, Masonic, energy, all those words equal 74. So does the word killing. There's a song out there called Gematria, the killing name. The word holiday is also 74. Like this nation's birthday is 7-4. Did you know that 3 of the first 5 U.S. presidents all died on July 4th? Thomas Jefferson and John Adams both died on July 4th, 1826. And then exactly 1,826 days later, which also fell on July 4th, Monroe died. So 3 of the first 5 presidents died on the nation's birthday. Doesn't that seem strange?
Yeah, but is that because they planned to do that? Like,
Yes.
What do these mean, these coincidences?
Again, secret societies, right? Operating by old world occult knowledge. In Kabbalah, there's a text called the Book of Formation. On the opening page, it says, God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. In Kabbalah, there's 2 halves to the study. Have you read the Bible at all?
I haven't, no. But so this only happens in the U.S., not in
No,
other countries?
no, this goes on all over the world. English is the language of the world. We were explaining why the Queen of England would die at age 96, long before it happened. And I said, watch when she dies. It's possible she dies on May 20th, maybe 140 days from her birthday, but I said, watch, that number will be big because Queen of England equals 140. She just died on September 8th, 140 days after her 96th birthday. And she also died 67 days before Charles' birthday, and king equals 67. And now he's the king, right? And again, this stuff's going on all over the world, all over the world. The word London is also 74. So going with the English, Gematria, occult, very special number. If you use numerology, Independence Day equals 74, like 7-4. You can go through this whole nation's history from the very beginning up to the present, and you'll see why things happened on the dates they did. What this all goes back to is the Catholic Church. The word Pope equals 52, and we're on a calendar, the Gregorian calendar, named after Pope Gregory the 13th, right? How many weeks in the year? 52, like Pope equals 52. They've synced up astrology, numerology, and the calendar. It's like a wheel that they made. And rituals are going on every year, the same patterns, people dying by the same patterns, rigged elections by similar patterns. Think about the odds of this. Joe Biden became number 46, right? And it just so happened to happen in the year where President's Day fell on the 46th day of the year. And it fell on 15/2, February 15th. Joe Biden equals 152. Born for the throne. Again, it's the land of kings and queens. The democracy is an illusion. But anyway, I don't want to weird you out, man. I feel bad because you're
It's interesting to
Okay.
what you think.
Well, I know there's a lot of bright minds here. You guys are top students in the nation, so.
So you're gonna publicize your thoughts?
We just want to walk around and I haven't been here before. I'm from Washington State.
Oh.
I'm just taking a tour of the East Coast because I haven't been out here my whole life. But I had to stop by Yale, famous place. Had to see what it's all about. So, do you want to ask me any questions, or should I let you get back to it?
I think I'm out of questions.
You got it. But thanks for listening, man.
Yeah.
And if you do have any free time, I don't know if you do as a college student, look into it more, man, because we got to change this world. Bad stuff is happening. Here, I'm going to tell you one more thing before I go.
How would you change it?
We have to wake up to how we're being manipulated. We're being manipulated.
And then do what? How would you find these people?
Oh, well, we know who's really ultimately responsible for this is the Catholic Church and the current military order of the church, which is the Jesuits. Listen, we're in the time of the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis. He's the first Suite 201 at the Vatican, Pope Francis. And that's a huge number with the Jesuit history. His name is Pope Francis. The Jesuits were originally created in Paris, France. And the last French Pope in the history of the church was the 201st Pope. If you write out his birth name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, it equals 201. Just like the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, equals 201. The Jesuit priest who did the funeral for Beau Biden at age 46 and the inauguration for Joe Biden as number 46 on the date 20/1, like 201, his name's Leo Jeremiah O'Donovan, also 201.
So do you think Joe Biden is aware that he's...
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Kamala Harris is too?
Absolutely.
So they all know.
Absolutely. These people are born for it. They were raised for this. This 201 number is huge. Did you hear about Event 201? Do you know what that is? Look it up if you get a chance. Event 201 took place October 18th, 2019. It was the simulation of the coronavirus pandemic 1 month before the outbreak in Wuhan, China. And that simulation took place the exact same day as the military World Games in Wuhan, China, which are credited to the Jesuit order. And if you write out the Jesuit order, it's also 201. The CIA was established on the 201st day of the Pope's age in history. That number's been with us since the beginning of the nation. But anyhow,
So what are you going to do?
How do you like my disguise?
do exactly what we're doing right here until enough people understand and have taken the time to look in it for themselves and see that this is exactly what's going on. We were just in New York yesterday. We made a big scene in New York at the site of the World Trade Center, explaining why 2 towers became 0 before they became 1. You're younger, so you might not know this, but the only footage of the first plane hitting the tower was captured by 2 Frenchmen, and their names equal 201. It's like, what are the odds of that? What are the odds of that?
Can I share something with you, young man? My name's Angel. How are you? So, if you're asking, I guess...